Oh, wait, hold on. Blue's just messaged me. Start without me, I'll join soon. Yeah, I thought so. Right, okay. There we go. Hey guys, welcome back to another podcast. How is everyone doing? I hope you're all having a great day. It has been a hot minute since we've last done something like this. I am joined by Bevan today. Sick. And I'm joined by Lauren today. And we're also meant to be joined by Blue, but he's not here yet. He will be joining soon. But yeah, we're just gonna go around. We're gonna start this. We're just gonna go with the flow. Bevan, introduce yourself. Who are you? What's a fun fact about you?
I'm Bevan, and a fun fact about me is fucking hell.
What would you do? Do you ride a bike? Yeah, that's a hobby, I guess.
Fun fact.
Broke.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'd consider that like part of a hobby, right? Would you not?
Yeah, it's a hobby. I ride bikes.
Yeah. That's fair. Just stuff like that. Yeah, he's got a nice girlfriend. Her name is Libby. I don't know if they needed to know that, but you know, it's part of who you are. You know, it's part of your life, isn't it? Yeah, it's just, you know, why not? And Lauren, who are you? What do you do?
Hello, I'm Lauren. I don't want to be here right now.
Yeah.
Second fun fact, I'm 19 and I live alone.
Wait, that's great. That's awesome. Why would you, you know, as
Still don't want to be here right now.
yeah, well, listen, she's here on a favor for me, okay? There were meant to be
It's going to be graced with my presence.
there were meant to be other people here, but you know, I asked her here for a favor, and we are waiting on Blue to hurry his bum up, because when he hurries his bum up, we'll add him in, and he probably won't have his camera on, but that's okay. Other people we were meant to have today was Yanniek. She's disappeared off the face of the planet. We were also meant to have Sophia, but she is busy at the moment. She's got a lot of personal things going on, which is fine. And hopefully next time we do the podcast, we'll have a lot more people because it will be next month. My plan is to do monthly podcasts, so that should work out, hopefully. You know, we'll just have to see.
I think that's too far away. I think it should be 2 weekly.
2 weekly?
You asked my opinion.
Yeah, well, I mean, weekly, I don't know if necessarily people would watch
We'll
it.
see how it goes.
Yeah,
Wait. When you say 2 weekly, do you mean
like 2 a week.
No, every 2 weeks.
Oh, so once a fortnight.
2 weekly, yeah.
Okay, right. I was gonna say weekly. That would be.
2 weeks.
I mean, I don't know if people are gonna want to sit around and watch that. I mean, one of my favorite podcasts, they do it monthly, and they get shit tons of views and stuff like that.
Well, if you're watching right now, then I advise just turn back.
Just turn off, go away, just leave.
Yeah,
No, yeah, that with just banter to an extent. I know she's not really joking. There's a part of her that's true about that. So this is just to get a little bit more into what this podcast is. This is completely a rebranded thing. Yes, before this was the podcast 126, which was completely old in the past. I don't associate with that anymore. Yes, it was my podcast, but the 126 stuff is in the bin. You guys should probably know this if you're a viewer of everything. And I've rebranded this podcast to be called Podcast Kin. Yeah, because my username is Samakin, and taking the kin out of Samakin because people nickname me Kin for some reason. So the name of this podcast is Podcast Kin.
Sorry.
What? Go on.
At least be podcast kin and friends.
Well, yeah, but it just depends on.
You're making this
But it's my podcast. It's who features on it.
a favour.
Yeah, but it's who features on it or who decides to feature on it. What do you think, Bevan? Should it be podcast kin and friends, or just podcast kin?
Not friends, mates.
podcast?
Kin and mates.
I mean,
Kin and mates.
the thing is, yeah, is it's like It's like Joe Rogan, innit? He's got his own podcast. He doesn't call it Joe Rogan and the rest of the fuck.
See what I mean?
That would be a good fucking name.
It would be a good name.
The fuckers that come on it. Yes.
I mean,
And the rest of the fuckers that come on it.
It would be a good name, but unfortunately, society's got too many pussies now.
They'd get it cancelled. Yeah, we'll get to that topic. Don't worry.
I can't even call Sam a fucking boy with
Actually, do you know what, Bevan? That is a perfect segue because our first topic, right? Topic number 1 is the current state of society. Bevan, do go into more detail about what are you even doing?
No, do you know what? I've got a good topic that me and you spoke about this, first of all.
Go on.
The fairy tale in New York is a great example of it.
Okay,
Right?
do explain.
So, do you remember we were talking about this?
Oh, right.
The fairy tale in New York.
Yes.
We can't put it on. They changed it on the radio.
Yeah.
From
It's okay.
faggot.
Yeah, don't get offended. No one, please don't get offended. If you hear it and you watch this podcast and you get offended, just click off.
Faggot does not mean gay. Faggot means something else in Irish.
Yeah.
You snowflake.
Just get on with it. They changed it.
That's a good song.
They changed
That's a
it.
good song.
They changed it from faggot to haggard because snowflakes of this generation couldn't handle the fact that faggot wasn't derogatory towards them. It was just a word in general. So that got changed.
I do just want to put something out there now, just very quickly, right? Because I've had this conversation with someone on Instagram, a completely random person who also agreed with me, and also 4,000 other people that have liked it agree with me. Snowflakes today, they're not even like a mixed group of people. Snowflakes today are a group of white people, right? And I don't care who gets offended by it. It is a group of white people who seem to get offended on behalf of other people for no reason, okay? You can go out, you go on YouTube and you watch a guy dress up as a Mexican, like as a native Mexican, yeah? He'll go around and a white person will go, oh, that's offensive, you shouldn't wear that, or you're in the wrong neighborhood to be wearing that. But he goes up to an actual Mexican and goes, thank you. You're shedding light on our culture.
Yeah.
They don't get offended. White people, okay, specifically white gay people, seem to get offended on behalf of every other fucking ethnicity and every other fucking...
It's true.
I've got a good point to put to that though. It's because white people originally are the most racist, right? So it's basically them covering their own asses by stepping too far, being like, you can't do that, you can't say that, you can't do this, because they're trying to backtrack, but it's gone too far.
Yeah, it's true. That is true. I just
We are all white.
like I would agree with the sense of yes, it is 90% white people. There are some that are other races, don't get me wrong, but the majority of it are white people, and the fact that we all have to, or not we, but white people in general who are snowflakes and whatever, have to feel offended for other races and take on the kind of responsibilities and anger that other people are feeling. It's just a bit shit.
The worst.
Yeah.
Because we're the worst.
It's just, I don't know. I don't understand the way it has gone. And the fact that...
People, go back in time, white people have always been the worst when it comes to racism. So it's them saying, if we can't do it, then neither can you.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. To put it simply, right? White people are trying to redeem themselves, and they're not redeeming themselves. They're digging themselves a bigger hole. Do you know what? I don't even want to be white anymore. It's gone to a point. No, seriously, it's gone to a point.
No, yeah.
It's embarrassing to be white because of how unbelievably stupid and soft they've become. But saying that though, saying that, it isn't all just white people. It is also fucking black, brown, you know.
The whole list.
It's everyone. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's a
The thing
mixture
is,
of everyone. but it's primarily white people and shit. Stop getting offended on behalf of other people because you don't know fuck all, right? You may think you know something, but I promise you don't. So keep your delusional fucking thoughts to yourself and let people crack on with their life because it's not just affecting you, okay? It's affecting everyone, right? Fucking kids cannot go into school nowadays and call someone and say, oh, miss or sir, because you get offended over it. What? You're a boy or you're a girl, okay? Hate me.
Oh,
Hate me.
That is controversial. I mean, listen, without people hating me or whatever, you know, without any of that kind of being a problem, I do agree with the fact that you can't say anything anymore because people will get offended by certain pronouns. Like if I go, Lauren, you're she, her, and you're like, well, actually, no, you should be calling me he, him. It's kind of a bit like, well, how am I meant to know? How am I meant to know that?
Person basis, though.
But it's how am I meant to know?
Yeah, but...
Sorry to interrupt. Can I ask you also, what's a xenomorph?
It's an alien. It's an alien.
It's an alien, isn't it, Sam?
Yeah, you know aliens. It's that black alien. Yeah.
Right. Why is it there's people actually identifying as xenomorphs?
Yeah, it's true.
In my eyes, if they want to be identified as xenomorphs, I'm gonna call them a fucking alien. That's their problem.
It's
That's
true.
They want to be called, innit? A xenomorph is a fucking made up character. It's a made up species.
Yeah.
And people are identifying as a fucking movie character. Do you know what I mean? And they get offended when people call them. Look, this is. It's unfortunate the position that society's in now, right? Because you have to be very careful what you say, otherwise you'll get cancelled. Okay,
it's true.
We live in a cancel subculture.
It's cancel culture all the time.
Cancel culture is full of the saddest bunch of people who have no lives, who just want to try and get their 15 minutes of fame. That's all they want. They want their 15 minutes, so they'll do what they can. Because look, this is how it is. Yeah, this is just how you end this debate. This is how you do it. Okay, society now. Everyone wants to be known. Everywhere. There's no more fucking. There's no one can think for themselves. No one thinks that. Everyone's a sheep. You're following one person because one person on fucking TikTok or YouTube has said something.
It's true.
Now everyone else wants to do it. Do you know what? LGBTQ plus, yeah. I have no problems with them. None at all. Okay, but it's become a trend. The same as the Black Lives Matter movement. That was a trend. They achieved nothing out of that. I'm sorry.
It's sad. No, the thing is, it should have achieved something, but it never can.
Yeah, that's true.
Literally,
nothing's changed.
Exactly.
Going back to the cancel culture thing, I think of something Ricky Gervais said, and he said, going back at old tweets and seeing that, like, say 10, 15 years ago, when you did something that wouldn't be approved of now. So, like, people going on like Love Island or I'm a Celeb, and their old tweets being brought up. And because it wasn't bad to say stuff like that then, but it gets brought up. And he said, if you can't say sorry for something you've done in the past, then what is the point?
Yeah.
I'll post it again and again and again. But he also did say that if I posted a tweet 10 years ago saying women have vaginas, he said that if I said that and that was brought up, I'd be cancelled now.
That's true.
It's a society we live in. And then he also said, but if I can't say sorry for something I've done in the past and that not accepted, I might as well say it every day.
Yeah, it's true.
I might as well tweet about it every day because something I've done in the past does not define who I am now and how I think now because society's always changing.
That's true.
The thing is, yeah, society lives off of double standards, right? And let's be real, right? And I don't think anyone's going to disagree with me on this. And it goes for feminism, the LGBTQ community, BLM, anything, yeah? They do not give a shit about anything unless it benefits them.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
That is true.
Look at the Black Lives Matter movement was just an excuse, and this isn't me trying to be racist yet. I'm saying it. If you don't like it, crawl in a hole and sleep there.
Remember, this is an opinionated podcast. You can't get offended at opinions. Okay, that's it.
Yeah, exactly. Right. That's something as well. This is for a later topic, which I will come back to as well. Right. And I don't believe in any religions whatsoever because I've never in my life seen physical, concrete evidence of proof.
Mm-hmm.
Of divinity, okay? But a lot of people like to say God gave everyone free will, right? Why are people nowadays in society trying to play God? Why are they trying to decide who can have free will, who can have the freedom of speech, and who can think for themselves? Why? It's because people are sad and they have got nothing else going on in their life, so they want to. The second someone sees someone else happy, it's the fucking end of the world for them because they're depressed little pricks who've got nothing else going on in their life. They want to bring someone else down. Okay,
it's true.
And unfortunately, this is it's not even. I don't care if someone wants to come over to me and try and make me all depressed. I don't care. But when it starts affecting the younger generation, the kids, right? That's when there needs to be that's when the line needs to be drawn. Yeah, because you're taking the innocence away from a child. Okay, and if you believe in free will and you believe in freedom of speech, then you can't be offended at anything that I say or anything that anyone else has as an opinion on that is as strong as mine.
Can I just add on to that, what you were saying about the children? I wholeheartedly disagree with the fact that parents are now making their children transgender at the age of 4 when they don't have their brains formed enough to have their own freedom and talk how they feel. So their parents are echoing their feelings onto them to make them be something that they might not be. It's just an influence, and influencing kids like that is just wrong. It's just so wrong.
If you want your movement to have respect and get the respect of others, do not shove it down the throat of everyone, and do not shove it down the throat, especially of kids.
Exactly.
You're really just gonna push everyone away, like vegans. Not all vegans. I know vegans myself, yeah. I do. I don't
Same.
like vegans so much because of what they do. All they do is they'll sit there, they'll bash everyone as much as they can, and they'll make you feel bad. You cannot change. You cannot change how humans have lived for the last 63 billion years. You can't. When humans come around, yeah, we hunted animals to live. Right? We still do that today because it's now in our nature. We evolved to hunt animals, eat animals. That everyone does it. You did it as a kid. You still do it now. Vegans, they contradict themselves as well. They don't like killing living things, but they sit there and kill plants. Plants are living. Plants are
It's
living.
true. Yeah, they help us live.
They are living things. And as much look, bees, right? No, I'm not going to sit here and fucking say we'll save the bees or nothing. But if we don't save the bees, then we will, like, our ecosystem will fall into a recession, and we will fucking hurt ourselves. But the people that are doing it are the vegans because you're killing the plants that the bees need. So,
also, I'm going to backtrack a little bit to the Black Lives Matter thing. So, sat and listen, but going back to the Black Lives Matter, it all started with a white person killing a black person, right?
Yeah.
And the Black Lives Matter movement, I think, is just every other white person putting it out there that they're not racist. But that's not what the Black Lives Matter movement should be about. It's about Black Lives Mattering, not covering your own arse.
Exactly.
And that's why it dives down so quickly. Like, if you're not racist, Black Lives Matter movement should have been a movement before a white officer killed a black man.
Exactly. Not only that, the Black Lives Matter movement was a trend just for people to follow.
Yeah.
I was going to say that.
But the trend was white people. The trend was white people covering their own asses, saying we're not racist.
Exactly.
But you should have been caring about black people a lot before the Black Lives Matter movement. And plus, George Floyd was not the only black person to die. Especially in these situations.
I grew up around black people. My godfather is black, right? And
yeah, same.
I've got more respect for black people because that ethnicity, that race is so much more respectful, so much better than white people. Because white people, they want everything their way. Okay? And it's always been like that. It's never changed. White people want everyone's money. They want to rule the world. They want to kick people out and fucking run shit. They want their houses to be. Come on, man. It's like the worst place is America.
Yeah, America. It's like this is what I was about to say. So the 4th of July is a celebration of white people taking over America, getting America, but they took it off the black people.
Yeah.
That's what they did. They wiped them all out and got that country for themselves. So you're celebrating taking something off of somebody and claiming it as your own.
Not Americans, but like not all Americans, because they are actually. Fuck me, I'm never.
The thing is, America's living in our past. I'll always say it. America's living in our past.
Look, I've said this right from day dot. America is a third world country that just got a bit of money. That's all it is. America, the land of the free. Fuck off.
Guns, bro.
America. What is free about America? You're not allowed to say anything. If you say something that they don't
you
like,
get killed.
You're gonna get shot. Look at all the videos. It's not even just the police though. It's not just police, but I'm gonna use.
It's mainly police.
It is mainly the police, and I'm going to use them as an example. I was watching a video the other day, right? An officer pulled a guy over because his backlight went out, and the guy had a spare light in his trunk that he was taking it to the garage to get repaired. The officer pulled him out of his car and shot him. Kid was 18. Shot him because the kid said, "Officer, I'm sorry, but I think you're wrong."
It's true. That's what happens nowadays.
It's like another case, right, where police were trailing these two people, two black people in a car, and police tried to pull them over, and they wouldn't stop, basically. And this guy had a Coke can, the driver had a Coke can in his car. They thought it was a gun, right? So they shot 39 times. They tried to stop the person, and do you know what? All of the police who were involved in the shooting, including a police officer who got up on the bonnet to continue shooting, none of them got charged with anything.
Do they not carry tasers? Like, tasers would help. Like, guns.
But they said just they saw a gun in his car. He didn't have a gun.
But that's the problem.
They try to justify everything.
It's true. They can't be charged because they are the law.
You have a gun, shooting two people 39 times, getting up on the bonnet to continue shooting after you know they're dead.
Do you know what? They can't justify it. But the thing is, it's not just America; it's here as well.
Yeah.
Britain's just racist. British are just as racist. Not as racist, but they are racist as well.
Yeah, that's so true.
They do target black people.
You see these videos. You see all these videos online of all of this stuff happening, and it's just... And as well, going back to the America thing, why did they not think of having tasers instead of guns? Reason why I say that is because you could prevent killing an innocent life by using a taser. If they even do have a gun, you can still stun them enough to not be able to hold and pick up the gun. So then you have the time to identify if it is one and not kill an innocent person. You know?
It's not like that in America.
That's what I mean.
The thing is, when we go to like police shooting in America, the biggest advance we've had is Sarah Everett. The police officer got charged and is now in prison for the murder of his... If you think of, if that young girl was a black girl, things would be a lot different, especially in this country. Sarah Everett didn't even bother.
Yeah.
I truly believe that. I truly basically.
And you know what? It doesn't even upset me. It doesn't anger me.
It's so normal to us now. It doesn't upset
Yeah.
us. It's so normal.
And this is falling perfectly into the category of what is wrong with this generation and our thoughts and opinions on this generation.
Everything is wrong with this generation because this generation believes that the world owes them something. Let me tell you something now. Fuck all to be owed anything. You sit on your ass all day behind the fucking computer. What do? You sit there, you claim benefits, you can work, you claim benefits, and then you sit there and you bitch about everything. You bitch about the society system, you bitch about the system, the justice system, the school system, fucking everything. But what do?
You don't do a shit about it.
You abuse the system because it's easy. It's easier to abuse the system than it is to follow the rules.
It's true.
And people do it. But this generation, not just our generation, maybe sometimes a bit older generation, right? You're not owed anything by anyone because you've done fuck all in your life to be owed that.
It's true.
And another thing this country hates is immigrants. Not illegal immigrants, just normal immigrants. And what I say to that is immigrants have done more for our country
than we ever have, yeah.
We would not have an NHS if it wasn't for immigrants.
It's true.
99% of the NHS was built on immigrants because they are the only ones that are willing to work their asses off and get an educational degree
to save us,
doctoring, to be able to help you, racist little bastards, when you have a heart attack or something like that, and you're not even.
Immigrants do a lot of the building, they're creating shops, right? So they saying that immigrants are taking our jobs. If anything, immigrants are creating jobs.
That's actually, yeah, that's a good point. I just don't I don't understand as well. The majority of the reason why immigrants come to this country anyway is because of the free healthcare, and that's the thing that. I mean, I wouldn't.
No, you say that, but immigrants in this country can't get free healthcare without either citizenship or.
Oh, really?
For 5 years, yeah.
Yeah, you've got.
If you're an immigrant and come over just for healthcare, you have to pay unless you're a citizen.
Okay, because no, I'm just going based on stuff I've known from when I was like a kid.
Not only that.
You have to have lived in this country. You have to have a British passport, I
think.
The West cannot complain about immigrants when it was the West that put them in the position of them having to flee a war-torn country. Okay, Tony Blair fucking took us into war. Because what? Because America wanted to start a war. Fuck me, man. That George Bush prick, the fucking nonce, who was caught on Jeffrey Epstein's island. Yeah, let me just put that out there. His name is on Jeffrey Epstein's list.
Yeah.
He was caught noncing on children, right? The one that planned 9/11, the one that killed over 2,000 people, the one that went to war with Afghanistan and Iraq. And Tony Blair was the one that followed him in there, right? And unfortunately, just remember this, yeah, we're just a number to the government, okay? And going back a little bit to obviously the immigrant side of things. Shit, my mind's gone blank.
It's okay, don't worry.
If Tony Blair didn't send us into that war, okay, and he didn't join America in this fight for freedom, okay, then we would not have as many immigrants here today as we would if we didn't go into that war.
The thing is, it's not been bad in immigrants, at least legal ones, because illegal immigrants is a whole different ballgame. Not because of what they're doing or whatever, it's just because it's statistics that aren't valid, or if they're illegal, then they obviously have no right to be in a country, otherwise they would be legal immigrants, unless they're asylum seekers, which is a whole different ballgame as well, because our country treats immigrants like shit.
The people that complain about the immigrants and the immigrants taking their job, like taking jobs in in England are the ones that they're able to work, but they'd rather sit on their arse all day and fucking claim benefits.
That's like saying that immigrants do more for this country than we do.
They do. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Immigrants are better than fucking British citizens.
But then you've also got to think, right? If you had, so it's also the race game in this country. If you had 2 qualified doctors, one being an immigrant and one being an Englishman, the Englishman would get the job.
Yeah.
But there's not enough people. They're saying it's stealing our jobs, but we're not trying. We're not trying hard enough.
Exactly, man. You lot. It's easier for
you lot.
Yeah, it is, man. You lot. It's easier for you lot to bitch and complain than to actually get off your fat ugly asses and go out and get a job. Go out and get a job because you're capable of. This is one thing that really pisses me off. Okay, I do not work 40 hours a week just for fucking Dave and whatever
Jimmy.
Cunty wife's name is. I don't work. Yeah, I do not work 40 hours a week. I'm a 19-year-old. I should not be working half of my life away just for fucking Dave, who goes out and eats 10 buffets a day and feed his 25 kids. I should not be doing that. I should not be wasting half of my life away for him to claim taxpayer money, for him to go out and do that when he is perfectly capable of getting off his arse and going out and getting a job. Even if it's sitting down and typing a few things into a computer, or even if it's going out and picking up a few rubbish bins and chucking them into the back of a lorry. You're capable, but you won't do it. Because it's easier in this country, it's easier to take off of the fucking hard-working people than it is to go out and do something for your own self.
It's also easier to have loads of kids just to get them money for them and not care about them.
Exactly.
Which is why kids end up in our care system.
Yeah.
The more kids you have, the more money you get from the government. The benefit system is fucked. And I've said it, since I fucking learned about it. They need to look into the benefit system, and they need to rework the entire thing. Don't get me wrong, there's actually people out there on benefits who genuinely need it, who genuinely cannot work, right? And I respect them people because to them that might be a really embarrassing thing to do. That might. Do you know
what though? Speaking of this, my mum, she was working her whole life, and then she got diagnosed with cancer. So, like a bone, blood, and bone marrow cancer. So she wasn't able to work. Like physically, hardly any day she was able to properly get out of bed with her. And then you'd get you'd get the benefit people calling her every 2-3 weeks, asking her if she wants to get a job. My mum said I would love to work. Don't get me wrong, my mum wouldn't need anything more than to work, but she physically couldn't. And then you get the people who can work, who are not getting the calls from the benefit people, and then you've got a terminally ill woman with cancer who's getting calls every 2 weeks. It makes no sense.
It's because it's because this country, every citizen that in this country, well, not every citizen, but most of this country believes they're owed something and they're owed nothing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
They've done nothing to deserve they don't even deserve benefits, man.
And don't get it wrong, it's not like she never worked. It's like, I could get it if she'd never worked in her life, but she'd been a manager at a care home for over 30 years. And it's like she'd been paying tax her whole life. And then it's not even like she'd been on benefits ever before. It's just hard to work a system where you see someone's unwell and you're calling them so constantly.
Well, listen.
They're like, come in for an assessment. My mum's like, you've got to come to me.
I think.
I don't know where you think I'm going.
I think the bottom line of this whole topic and situation is the fact that this generation is messed up and everything in it is messed up. It should be a specific way. but it can't because people feel that it has to go one way when it should be the complete opposite, and it just ruins everything. But
It doesn't go their way.
Exactly.
This is how I describe it. This is how I sum up our generation. It's like me throwing a puzzle into a tsunami and then telling you to put it together.
Yeah,
There's no way.
it's straight up fucked.
Right? I'm not being funny yet. Go out there and ask. Go and ask a 25-year-old to build you a shed. Do it. Ask a 25-year-old to spell February. Ask a 25-year-old to spell August for you. They'll be like, oh, August? I don't know. But then you go out there and ask a 50-year-old, and he'll go, I'll try. I've got a broken leg, or I'm missing a fucking leg, or I'm missing.
But I'll give it a go.
I've got really bad heart problems, but I'll give it a go. If you need help, I'll help you. Do you know what I mean? The generation's lazy, and they don't want to do anything to change it. They'd rather sit and complain than try and do something about it. That's why depression in our generation is a lot higher, because they're not willing to change anything. They'd rather sit there all depressed and sad and everything with their life instead of actually going out and doing something and trying to change it.
Yeah.
The thing is, there's depression and there's depression.
Exactly.
And what you're describing there isn't depression. It's not having depression isn't the option of being able to do things. And depression isn't constant. You'll be able to do things, but then depression hits. Depression isn't something that causes you to be out of work all of the time.
I think what makes it worse is that there's a lot of people out there in our generation that love to self-diagnose.
Oh yeah.
Love self-diagnosis. Right? You go out, right? I'll even do it for you lot, and I'll take a picture of it. I'll find some random fucking 19, 20, fucking 16, 17, 18, 19, whatever. Yeah? And I'll say, spell depression for me. They won't even know what fucking... They couldn't even describe depression to you.
No, the thing is, they could probably spell it because they think it's on their list of diagnoses.
Yeah.
They couldn't describe it. They couldn't describe it to you. And it takes such piss out. Like, PTSD is a common thing that's used now. Like, oh, that gave me PTSD. Do you know how hard, like, someone who's been professionally diagnosed with PTSD, do you know how hard it is for people to use PTSD like that when you've never been through anything similar to what people with PTSD go through? PTSD originated in war zones. In war zones. And you're describing your cat jumping off the sofa as PTSD. I'm sorry, just because something scared you a little bit, it doesn't leave you traumatized. That's not left with you. It's not, you don't, I think using that word is so overused. You have no right, because you don't know what it is like to go through that.
Unless you're thinking about it every waking moment of every day, and it's with you all the time.
And it's not even that. If you go through that and you're going through similar things, you think it's PTSD. It's not even PTSD until you've been diagnosed. You can't just say, I've got PTSD because I've got the symptoms of PTSD. PTSD is not PTSD until PTSD is diagnosed. The same with any other mental health or medical condition.
These lot, do you know what? That's a really good point, what you just said, right? Because here's what actual depression is showing people a smile. That's depression. Okay? And then when you go home, that smile's gone.
Do you know what? It's not even that. Because people with depression, suffer. But people with depression, they trick themselves into putting that mask on.
Yeah.
So
depression
even when you look in the mirror, you're smiling. It's you're dying on the inside. You're dying on the inside.
Exactly. Depression is feeling alone. It's feeling alone
in a crowded room. In a crowded room. It's not wanting to talk to people. It's pushing people away because it's not you don't want the help. It's because you don't think you deserve the help.
And it does really frustrate me, because my mum killed herself because of depression. And kids these days don't understand it. They just think depression it's a fucking trend to these kids. That's all it is. You go into school, and kids go into school nowadays, and they use, oh, miss, I'm depressed, I can't do this lesson.
See, that's not an excuse. If you had depression, you wouldn't even be in that lesson.
That's true.
And if you did have depression and it wasn't as severe, like as major as some people, because some people can't get out of bed. But that's not all depression. Depression's not telling people. You don't go, miss, I can't do this lesson because I'm depressed. Depression's not telling people. Depression is not even realizing you're depressed until it's a bit too late.
Exactly.
Depression is a normal thing for people to go through and not realise until it's too late.
I think before it gets too emotional and before we all get very angry, I think we need to change subject because...
Thank you. That leads on to the perfect thing, right?
No. You can't do that topic after the depression talk.
Well, no, you don't even know what I'm doing now. Now we're gonna have a short break. We're gonna cut to a short break because that was the plan anyway. That was a very, very long discussion about something that was only meant to be 15 to 20 minutes long. That was a good 40 minutes right there. Probably about a good 40 minutes there. But guys, we're gonna just cut to a quick break and we'll be back in a few minutes. So see you then. Are we ready? Okay. Take two, really. Okay, hey guys, welcome back. We are back from our break. So if you were here before the break, you'd know what's going on. Also, we are joined by two more people. Say hello to Yanniek and Blue. Welcome, guys, welcome. So Yanniek, do you want to introduce yourself? Say one thing about you, who you are, kind of things like that. Turn you up a little bit more. Hold on. There we go. Right. If we do that one more time, Just go from you explaining who you are, if you don't mind. Okay, go on.
Hi, I'm Yanniek. I'm 15 years old and I'm from the Netherlands.
Lovely. What do you do for like your hobbies? What do you do in your spare time?
I play soccer and I'm drawing most of the time.
Oh, that's cool. That's actually really cool, you know. And also, if you guys don't remember her name, it's behind her on the wall. I just noticed that as well. And Blue, do you want to introduce yourself? Say something about you. It's interesting.
I'm Blue.
Yeah, but who are you? What do you do? What are your hobbies?
I'm from China. My hobby, China.
He's not.
Everything's made in China these days, though.
One of my hobbies is I took one of my friends with me to the forest and wanked and wiped the cum off him.
Interesting. I don't know why you'd want to tell us that. For clarification, no, he is not from China. He is actually from Ireland, but lives in the UK. And that last topic,
People who live in the UK.
the last topic about doing some weird stuff in the woods, that has no any means necessary towards Blue, and he shouldn't have shared something like that. Anyway, Bevan, we're gonna let you take the floor. Bevan has something to talk about here about his charity that he's doing, so I'm going to let Bevan take it away with what he's got to explain. So please do go ahead. And also, this is quite a serious thing. If you are watching the podcast and you are easily affected, please click off or go to the next part. That will be linked in the description.
This next section contains suicide. So if you're feeling unwell or affected by the topics to come, suicide, death,
I'll link a number.
then please click away.
Or I will put a number in the description if you are feeling any sort of mental illness or you are feeling depressed at all. Please go to that number and please speak to someone, whether it be friends, family, whoever. Please do that. But thank you. Go on.
That trigger warning.
Yeah. But go on, Bevan. Go ahead, mate. It's all yours.
Okay, so... down to business, yeah? Right, anyways, no, so really... I've started a charity It's called EDVSF, which stands for Excel's Domestic Violence Safety Foundation. And our main goal within this charity is obviously to help domestic violence victims that have recently or like just then come out of a domestic violence relationship and have nowhere safe to go, or they've maybe got somewhere safe but they've got absolutely nothing to get them like basic needs that you need in life. Our goal in the charity is to be able to offer support, like our services of maybe it can range from loads of different things. It can be like a safe haven, which we are currently working on. We will eventually be opening up our own place where people can come, like victims can come down to us and they can stay with us for a short period of time, just while we help them get set up in their own place. It could be helping them out with certain bills, helping them with basic needs in life. That could be food, furniture like bedding, sofas, maybe a little TV or something like that. And the main reason why I've done this is because my mum, she was a domestic violence victim pretty much from when she started primarily dating. Obviously, I'm not 100% sure if it was like that with my dad. I haven't got a clue. But I do know that with a few of her other partners, I witnessed it myself. I was also part of the attacks. So I can sort of not relate, but I understand the feelings that the victims can go through, seeing that firsthand. And it's a very common thing, but it's not very common at the same time. It's common in terms of domestic violence happens a lot, not just in the UK, but all over the world. Obviously, we are UK based, so we will be focusing mainly at the moment, only on the UK. But it's not very common, as in, not a lot of people talk about it. And it's a shame, really, because within domestic violence, it's not just, partners beating each other up and hurting each other, or domestic violence comes in loads of different forms. It's not just physical, it can be financial domestic violence, it can also be mental. There's loads of like different ways. There's loads of different parts of domestic violence, but all in all, it's really not spoken about enough. And the charity is here to shed light on that and help those that genuinely need the help. That is our main goal, obviously, to offer our help and get domestic violence victims back on their feet, get them out of that situation, and provide support, whether that be obviously with the essentials. It could be, even if it's like a hotline where they can call us and have a chat with us, see what we can do over the phone. It can be anything like that. Now the reason why I've like it started now is because 2021 my mum passed away of suicide, and now one of the main things of her suicide was down to the amount of domestic violence that she had experienced. There was lots and lots of other obviously aspects that contributed to her passing, but that's something that we don't really need to get into, because obviously it's not really anything to do with the domestic violence side of things. However, not a lot of people talk about it, and it does happen between not just women, it does happen to men as well. And I don't think it's fair for people to continue staying in these relationships because they feel like they've got no one to turn to. We want to be that place, that we want to be those guys that they can come to, that they can not feel ashamed about it and not be scared and not be worried. And it is quite a sensitive topic, obviously, for quite a lot of people. But yeah, we just it's something that obviously I'm quite passionate about. My mum, when she passed, she asked us that all her belongings that she had, were donated to domestic violence victims, which is what we did, and that is something that I'd like to continue. We will obviously once we start taking donations in, once I've got everything fully, completely set up. We are set up, but we're not at that point yet where we can start accepting donations. But once we do, we will be using those donations obviously to buy things that victims will need. I mean, yeah. If you guys, is there anything you guys have any questions on, anything like that?
No, I think it's very good of you to even be doing this, because not a lot of people take things like this very seriously, and the fact that you're doing it, especially in honor of your mother, you know, she'd be incredibly proud of you, Bevan. She was such an amazing woman. I knew her from when I was a kid. Every time I met her, she was always so bubbly and great. And I'm sorry about what had happened, you know, but I think it's very good of you that you're doing this for her, you know, and other victims, of course.
Also, to think that you're 19 years old and you've taken it into your own hands, and that shouldn't always be the case. It should be a bigger topic. It should be more widely spoken about, especially in lockdown, where affected by domestic violence, and financial domestic violence is a big thing as well, where people don't want to get out their relationships for being abused because they can't financially support themselves. But then another big topic that you mentioned is men do get domestically abused too, and that is another massive that most charities don't highlight.
Yeah, they don't at all. It's something that they actually do avoid.
Right. Yeah, they do. They do avoid saying it's a stigma that men, because they're bigger or because they're stronger, they can't get domestically abused. Anybody could be a victim of domestic abuse, and it's great that you highlighted that.
Yeah,
it is something that obviously I'm passionate about, and I know my mum was passionate about. Obviously, she did quite a lot of charity work herself. She helped out a lot of domestic violence victims herself, and it's one of those things that, you know, mainly in men. It's like Lauren said. There is this whole stigma around men. Obviously, you're tough. You can't cry. A woman can't beat you up. But there is a lot, and I mean a lot, of domestic violence towards men, and we will be obviously opening up a separate division specifically for men only. But one thing within the charity that we will be looking at is doing events, and I know it doesn't really, how can I put it?
correlate.
Yeah, like we're gonna use the events that we do. We will be using them to.
It's okay. Don't, I think she might have accidentally like that, but it's okay.
We will be using events to spread the word, shed light on domestic violence, because it is one of the biggest problems the UK faces. Especially, like Lauren said, throughout lockdown, that's when it was probably at its peak. A lot of people feel like they can't either financially support themselves if they left. That's why they continue to persevere in that relationship, or they may feel a bit, you know, embarrassed to come to someone. But I do just want to make it completely and utterly clear: it is not embarrassing, and you are not alone. There are people out there like myself that will always be willing to do my best to help you. I'm sure these guys as well, if you need someone.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. We will.
Do you ever need people to help on hotlines?
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, is there anywhere that we could like donate to? Have you set up that link yet, or will you be setting that up?
We've got a GoFundMe going at the moment.
Okay, cool.
I will make
We
it.
can link that.
I'll link that in the description. Yeah, that's fine.
I'm going to make it aware, because the charity will be 100% transparent with the public. Every donation will go straight into the charity. It's not going to go into my pocket. It's not going to go into anyone else's pocket. Every donation is strictly going straight into the charity, and it will go into providing the essentials for those that genuinely need it.
Great.
I won't pocket big. I've got a roof over my head. I've got a bed to sleep at night, and I've got food in my stomach. That's what makes. I'm happy with that. I've got a lovely girlfriend.
That's what we need for everybody else.
Everyone needs that. Yeah.
That's what we're going to do. We're going to provide that, and at some point as well, we are going to be looking at opening up a subsidiary to the charity, which will specialise, and we will get some specialists and professionals that have obviously been in a very similar situation, where we will be having a subsidiary to the charity that will focus on helping single parent veterans who are struggling, could be financially, mentally, physically, anything like that. We will be that will be coming soon, hopefully halfway through the year or more on the back end of the year. But that will be also available. So if there's any veterans out there, single parent veterans that need any help, please feel free. You're not alone. It's not an embarrassing thing. You know, we are here. We understand. Not I don't understand personally, but I do work closely now with veterans, and we will have a range of options there for you guys. We have got a few options that I can offer, obviously, veterans now, in terms of helping them get set up with a little bit of cash. I know a few people. I work with a law firm that can. It's completely up to you guys. There's a law firm that I work with that can help you get a bit of a payout. That can help you get yourself set up, get you into a nice new house, and get you the essentials that you need. But the aim of obviously our charity is to be able to provide a safe haven, a safe place for those who need it. That be like we want to also see. We don't want what we don't. What we do want.
It's okay, don't worry, mate.
To offer a place for, because obviously with the domestic violence, not with everyone, but children follow along with that, and
That's
we
true.
want to offer a place for children to be kids.
Oh yeah.
Mess about, you know, even if that's like having a console to play with, or maybe getting them a new football to kick about or a rugby ball to chuck about. You know, we want people to. We don't want you to feel alone. We don't want you to feel like there's no help out there, and that you've got to do everything yourself. Because my mum was on her own most of the time. She had the help of obviously the family and everything, but there wasn't any charities out there that were able to offer the help that we want to offer. So obviously, any fundraising, any donations that come into the charity will go straight into helping the victims that genuinely need it.
And please consider, guys, going. And if you genuinely have any experience or you know anyone with experience, please, recommend them this charity. It could really help someone. It could save a life,
The main takeout of this is feeling to a point and extent that there are other ways you can live your life. That isn't an option that there should be, and I think what Bevan's charity is doing is amazing because it's taken away a life that you've lived with such horror and placing it into the hands of someone you can trust and making you able to live.
But thank you, Bevan, for explaining that. Is there anything more you want to add before we move on? Because I just want to add Yanniek back, and then we should be good to move on to our next topic. All right.
Good on.
That was great.
Blue, just out of curiosity, have you ever had any experience or know anyone with experience with stuff like this?
Yeah, one of my friends.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope he's okay.
His name's called Dom.
His name's what?
His name's called Dom.
Okay. Anyway, we're gonna move on. Let me just add Yanniek back, and we'll get right back to it. Never trust Blue in a serious matter.
My friends.
Okay, we'll be right back. Yeah, I don't know how her childhood was. Right, okay, let me cut back into this. Okay, guys, we are back. Let's get this started. Yanniek is back with us, and again, Bevan, thank you for explaining to us your charity and everything to do with it. And like I said, guys, please go and check out the link, and please do anything you can to help someone or even help yourself, and that'd be great.
If it's just a referral.
Yeah, even if it's a referral, whatever. But anyway, our next topic is going to be a lot more lighthearted because we need something lighthearted for this episode. This could even be our last podcast because it's gone on for quite a while. I mean, not last podcast, last topic. I was going to say, this isn't our last podcast. There would be no point. So our next topic is childhood nostalgia. And we were just talking about it, like, briefly off of the recording. And we were just thinking about how, obviously, all of us have had our own different ways of growing up and our own different childhoods. I think I'm going to start with Blue here, to be honest, because he hasn't spoken too much, unless it's been something stupid. So, Blue, I'm asking you very nicely to be serious here. Can you give me a rough rundown of how your childhood went, and, like, good things that made you happy and stuff like that, and things you consider nostalgic? Also, Bevan, thanks for your leg in the frame. Alright, go on, Blue.
Right, so I was born.
Great start.
And when I was born, right, there was a woman beside me on another bed giving birth, and when she gave birth, she had a TV screen in front of her.
Yeah.
Why are you laughing?
You're laughing. Continue. Go on.
Wait, no, let's clarify something. So, Blue, do you remember being born?
Yeah.
Yeah, my mum was lies.
Oh my god. Continue, Blue.
Can I finish?
Yeah, go on.
Right. When the baby was born, the other woman, right? The baby got the PS3 controller.
Okay.
This baby, right? 90.
Oh my god.
And me and him were friends for a long time.
I know where this is going.
I'm on Instagram. And we want to play again. It was 10 years, and we played again. Still play with him this day, but he's like looks like a hunchback, and like hasn't it.
Okay. Stop. Go on.
And you know, I played with this bald fella. He's actually a homosexual, even though he's dating a woman because he's admitted to us. And this homosexual was over.
Wait, so the baby, your friend, the gay guy who's dating a woman, is it Philip Schofield? Was he thought? Did you watch?
I know who's. Can you clarify who their names are, Blue, for me?
Okay, so one of them, so the baby that was born next to me was called Neb.
Yeah. Neb, yeah.
And his best friend now is called Yulb.
Yulb. Okay.
Neb Yulb.
I know who these people are. For clarification, he's absent-mindedly talking about two people in our group who he has a problem with at the moment. But anyway, Blue, on a real note. Okay, come on.
Carry on.
Anyway, so this bald fella, right, loves to talk about fucking people, and
I'm sorry, Bevan, the way you're
your hand is moving and you've got your leg up, like. Oh my god. Right, go on, Blue. Hurry up and finish this horrible story.
Right. So this bald fella, right, went to the sewers once, and he recorded himself going to the sewers.
Bevan!
Yeah.
Blue, pause.
and he got this like pet. It was like a trench rat, right? And he decided to take it to the forest.
Okay. Stop. We're not going any further in this story because I know where this is going, and it doesn't need to go there for a podcast. Blue, can we on a real note, can we talk to you about things that make you nostalgic from your childhood? If not, we'll come back to you.
The PS3 made me nostalgic.
Why does the PS3 make you nostalgic on a real note this time?
Because you could crank 90s.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Yanniek, I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
Now, because we've all been raised differently, we get that, but you're from a country that I personally don't know tons about, and I don't know if necessarily your childhood was very different to ours, but could you explain things that, you enjoyed about your childhood and, like, made you feel nostalgic and stuff like that?
Yeah, sure. We have like some cars. You will on the playground when you're like in kindergarten, and you will just push it forward, and someone is on it and just like steering.
Yeah.
And most of the time, you will just break each other's knees with it. Like, how hard can I run into someone?
Okay, this is violent nostalgia, but all right.
Yeah, that was just how it was. Like, oh, let's go. Whoop.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Interesting. So
And we're having.
yeah. Sorry. Continue.
Oh yeah, no. What's your question?
No, I was just gonna say.
What do you
So
wanna say?
so bashing people's knees in is something that you remember quite fondly.
Yeah.
Are there any things? Go on.
Yanniek, if I ever have to do a serial killer documentary, I'll pin back to this episode of the podcast.
What?
Like fondly on her childhood with like me and
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Is there any like specific things?
a lot of money.
Are there any specific things that are like native to just the Netherlands that maybe not be in other countries that you guys do? Are there any like celebrations you might have that we may not have?
Yeah, we're all from England.
Yeah, I know.
Anything that you think is different to us.
Yeah, like carnival. You will just like dress up and just have 4 days of partying, like
Oh,
in weirdest costumes.
okay, all right. That sounds like Halloween, in a sense, but just like
Yeah.
4 days.
It's not a carnival.
Yeah, I know, but it's a celebration in a sense.
Pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, but it's like you will just dress up and you have names of places that will just change. Like Den Bosch will go to Oeteldonk,
Okay.
and people will just do the most of crazy things.
Okay.
You also have, yeah, and you also have Koningsspelen.
Okay.
Like you will celebrate the king's birthday.
Oh.
Like a song that's made by Kinderen voor Kinderen,
Okay.
and everybody will do the same dance, and then you will like sport the whole day, no lessons.
That's actually really cool. I want that. I want to do something like that. That sounds really fun, you know. Oh my god. Oh my god. Stop it. Stop it. Dakota, stop it. Stop it. Thank you for sharing that, Yanniek. Is there like any specific foods that maybe make you nostalgic that we wouldn't have?
Loads, probably.
Loads, yeah.
Everything with stamppot is just
What's that?
mashed.
Oh.
Potatoes just like mashed with any kind of greens. I don't know how to translate them. Oh Jesus.
Vegetables? Yeah, vegetables.
And
Yeah.
vegetables like carrots and a lot of other stuff. Just like put it with potatoes in the same pot,
Mhm.
stamp it or mash it together, and ta-da!
Okay.
Stamppot.
That's different. That's quite different to over here. So that's actually really interesting, you know. Thank you for sharing that, Yanniek. That's actually that's different. That's very different. Lauren, something that makes you nostalgic from your childhood? Well, go into some of your favourites.
Everything that makes like the 2000 kid nostalgic. I think everyone from England can agree. Horrible history.
Oh yeah.
Fucking legendary. I learned more in horrible history than I have my whole life.
There's nothing wrong with a bit of cheeky.
When we were younger, a big thing was the Golden Jubilee. I know we've just had the Diamond Jubilee. The Golden Jubilee was a big thing.
Yeah.
And then the same year as the Jubilee was the Olympics.
Wait for it. Can you hear it?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, anyway, sorry. That's Horrible Histories if you don't know what that is. Yeah, sorry, continue.
Everyone needs to know what horrible.
There are some people who might not know what that is. Yanniek, have you ever heard of Horrible Histories?
I haven't.
See, there you go.
Problem.
No, it's not. It's fine. Don't worry. Blue, stop it.
I think the whole 2000 children TV is iconic.
Yeah, like the static, the start-up static, and then it goes into it. My uncle still has one.
Iconic. Do you know what I used to remember though is you know before HDMI and TVs where you had to get the coloured pins in the back of the
Yeah. Wasn't it like red, yellow, and blue?
Green and blue, I think.
I think so. Yeah. Was there? I just remember it being 3. Yeah, white, red, yellow, white, and sometimes green or blue. Yeah.
Oh my god. It's just the weird things that you remember. Like I remember when we didn't have like a web, we didn't have like a camera in our computer.
Yeah. Oh my god, I still have a couple of those. Yeah.
No, that is a problem. And then the Wi-Fi used to have to be connected to the phone line.
Yeah, that's like old, and it makes me feel old now. But like, if there are any older people watching this podcast, they're like, oh, they're talking about being old. To us, that's nostalgic. So, but continue.
The thing is, it's stuff that I think about, you know, my cousin Mac.
Mm.
It's stuff that he would never even have to know.
Yeah.
Mind you, a big topic to do with that is I didn't get a phone until I was in high school.
I didn't get a phone until I was 11.
Yeah, that high school time.
Yeah.
And I didn't get a phone because as soon as I was going to high school by myself and I needed a phone, tell me why I see 5-year-olds and 6-year-olds with better phones than me.
Right. That's to do with this generation now. That's just this generation.
I get having like an iPad or a Kindle or whatever tablet device. Why is this like 5-year-old got an iPhone 14 Pro Max, please?
It's true. It's true. It really is.
Oh yeah, do you want my phone number? No. That is just one thing that like I grew up without, and it's weird to see this generation with phones. And I remember like you'd have to use the cameras to take photos and then develop the print.
Yeah, that's true.
Go on your phone and take the photo. Like from when I was younger, I have so many just pictures. Pictures everywhere.
Yeah, there's like a
happens anymore.
There's like a shop. I think they called it Snappy Snaps or something. I think it was something like that.
Well.
Yeah. They still do it at Boots because I had to go in there a couple of weeks ago with someone to print off something. But yeah, they still.
You've just got old friends.
They still well.
50-year-old Michael.
Oh my god.
Also, the thing I hate about this culture compared to when back in the day, like I'm just comparing, is nowadays you've got to take a photo of where you've been or you haven't been there.
Yeah, that's true.
It feels like that.
That's true.
Like we're living in that kind of culture that if you don't take a photo of where you've been, or if you like when I went on holiday, I went on holiday with a friend, and it was constant photo taking, and I just wanted to enjoy my holiday.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good way to.
Don't photograph it, you weren't there, kind of thing.
It's a good way to capture the memory, though. At the same time, you know.
The thing is, you shouldn't have to capture every single moment of a holiday or a date or like an event.
That's true.
Remember it.
It's true. It's true.
All you remember is taking photos of the event.
Yeah.
And you've got to enjoy it.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, I mean, I'd feel better if it was an actual camera you were taking photos with, not like a mobile phone where you're like, okay, guys, let's get a photo. Okay, let's do this, you know, stuff like that. Yeah. Whereas you could just take a photo at any point. Yeah, but it's to capture the memories. It's to capture the memories.
No, the thing is, if it's a good memory, then you shouldn't have to take a photo of it.
Okay.
When we were younger, back
we just remember it.
Like that.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that. It's not like I have photographs of me watching horrible history,
Yeah.
playing out until the street lights went on.
That's true.
When the street lights come on, you didn't have a time. You
Yeah.
didn't have a phone for your parents to contact you.
Yeah.
It used to be when the street light comes on. Now kids don't even play out because one, it's unsafe, or two, they're glued to games.
Yeah. It's true. It's true. And that's another thing that sucks about this generation is they'll never understand the way that we had our childhoods, the way they have theirs now, kind of, you know?
Yeah, and nowadays we've got kids killing kids and all of that stuff, which is
But before, yeah, we don't want to get into that. Yeah, we don't want to get into.
No, it's a comparison from.
Yeah, no, I get you.
My mum felt safe letting me go out in 2005, 2006, 2007. But nowadays, would I let my kids do what my mum did? No.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's just comparing, like, the nostalgia from when we're younger. I get that. But it also makes me think comparing to the way that we live our life now.
Yeah.
It is safer to give your 5-year-olds a phone.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Is there any like foods that you remember having from when you were younger that maybe they don't do now, or things that make you feel nostalgic like that?
It's just a British. Oh, do you know what I remember as a kid? I remember in my packed lunchbox. I don't know if anyone else remembers these, but in my packed lunchbox as a kid, I used to get those. They used to be like cupcakes, but the top was layered with chocolate.
I was literally thinking of that. They don't do them anymore. I can find you a photo.
Yeah.
But there's quite a few. There was Do you guys remember something when you were younger called Calippo shots, where it was like this? They were like ice cream. No, they don't. They're discontinued now. They're like this size, and they're like little balls that you would eat, and you just pour into your mouth, and they were ice cream and stuff like that. But stuff like that makes me feel.
Annoyed though. Oh, do you know what I used to remember though? Do you remember the screwball ice creams?
Yeah.
And the thing is, all you'd want is that piece of gum at the bottom, and then it would taste good for it.
That's true. The thing you were talking about, and this makes me so sad seeing them, is it's these. It's kind of hard. It's kind of there. You go. It's these things. They were so good. They were so good. Yeah. That's true. They did like Milky Way rolls. I don't know if you guys have ever had them before. They were really nice. They were like crispy filled wafer. Discontinued.
I have seen them recently.
Maybe.
I mean, in the past like 5 years.
Yeah, they've been out in the last 5 years, but they got discontinued as well. So, but okay, thank you.
Do you know what I used to remember as well? Do you remember the Starbursts? But they used to be like in a little packet like that. They used to be like that, and they used to have like gooey stuff in the middle.
No, I don't remember that version of Starburst.
They got discontinued. So you know Starburst in a packet.
Yeah.
You know, like Pop Sweets.
Yeah.
Come in a packet like that. They used to look like Pop Sweets, but in the middle it was like.
Oh really?
Yeah, I don't know. Try Google it.
Okay, I will in a minute. But let me just thank you for sharing that. That's actually stuff that I can relate to because we all grew up with like a traditional British childhood. Bevan, is there anything that you find nostalgic from when you were a kid?
Yes.
Well, go ahead and explain, please.
Rugby.
When you say that makes me feel nostalgic because I've known Bevan since I was 7 because we met at rugby. We used to do rugby when we were younger. So
You know what rugby made me think of?
What?
Going nostalgic. Do you remember we used to play Bulldog on a playground?
Yeah, Bulldog. That was great.
When that wasn't allowed, we used to play tag rugby, which is basically our new first.
Oh really? Was it these by any chance? Was it these?
Yeah.
Oh, it was those. Okay.
Well, no, I think so.
Yeah, they're called gummy bursts, and they actually have.
No, it wasn't them. They're not gummy.
Okay. Well, that's like the first thing that comes up. Bulldog is.
Sorry, Bevan.
Bulldog is when. Just quickly, it's when it's a game where someone is the bulldog and there's a line of people that need to get to like a checkpoint.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, so the person's here and then there's a line of people here and they've got to run past the bulldog to get to the checkpoint. but their thing is that they've got to they've got to catch you before you get to that checkpoint, and when you get caught, you are out, and then the first person to get caught is the next bulldog. So it's basically
every British primary
We also
school
have
found
some
that within a
games
week.
like that.
yeah, it's basically like it in a sense. But
Oh,
Thank
we
you
have
with
also-
Jenga as well.
We also have a game like that.
what is it called, Yanniek?
Schipper mag ik overvaren.
Wow, that's a long name for bulldog. Okay, all right. I mean, no idea. I'll look it up, but no idea.
No, yeah, but that always got banned within a week, and then we
Yeah.
playing human Jenga where
Stop
we
it.
pull people off. It was quite weird, actually.
Yeah.
Sorry, Bevan, you just gave me
Sorry.
a bit of oven nostalgia.
Continue, Bevan. Continue.
Yeah, I just got to say, really, rugby with Sam.
Yeah.
I've got a picture of me and Sam when we were 7.
Really?
I've got a picture of Sam. It's all my. Let Sam go on my nan's Facebook. You see it.
I'd have to look.
I want the link.
I'll find it. But there's a picture of little me and little Sam giving each other a hug at rugby.
Yeah.
I remember actually the first day. Literally, my uncle come down. And his mum was with him, and they both sat on the night. They went and sat on the concrete in their nice, comfy chairs and everything. And me and Sam had to rugby tackle each other.
Yeah.
As part of the exercise.
I was so nervous. I was so nervous when I was a kid because I wasn't a big person of like, you know, being really physical or like, come on, like let's tackle and stuff. But I did, and then I didn't stay for too long. But I still remember stuff like that, and it still gives me nostalgia of everything.
Like, there was actually one memory I got of me and Sam, because me and Sam at one point we were very, very close.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I used to literally piss my nan off just to go out and see Sam, just to get her to take me to see Sam.
Yeah.
And I remember we went. I don't know if it was a school or if it was a church, but me and Sam we went with his mum and my nan, and we went to this play. I think it was a church, but they had this little like play area for kids, and we went up on this. We went in there. And there was like I don't know. There was loads of shit in there for us to do, but fuck, man.
It's okay. Don't worry. Take your time.
We ended up trying to play pirates.
Really?
But I remember growing up, right? His mum always told me that his dad was a pirate because he had a gold tooth.
Oh yeah. Oh god, you just brought back.
I grew up believing that his dad was a pirate.
Oh my god.
I was always so scared because it was always I'll get custody. And it was always one of the scariest things because I actually genuinely believed that he was a pirate.
You know, he's going to be watching this, by the way. He'll be watching this and he'll see that that's what you said. So, and that's something we joke about to this day. Because I used to go into school and be like, guys, you know, this is the truth about my dad and stuff like that. And they'd be like, shut up. I'd be like, no, it's true. But, nah, I remember that. That is a fond memory. That's a really good memory.
There's loads of memories, like, not all of them are good anyways, because I didn't really have a good childhood, but I guess, do you know what, I'll tell you one thing, yeah, and I know 100% you've all had them. Yanniek, you might have had them, but Walker's barbecue crisps.
See, yeah, I remember them, I just never really... Yeah, I just never really liked them.
It's like barbecue ribs.
Yeah.
Yeah, barbecue rib.
Yeah, no, I get what you...
I remember them.
Oh,
You know
let me
what?
turn
You've
it up a
given
bit.
me like a memory where I was sick because of them.
Yeah.
Honestly.
By the way, I have an answer to your bulldog question, right? So back in Spartan times, every year they'd have a glorified sports day. One of the games was a version of British Bulldog, where the kids would have a little bit of red rag hanging out of their pants. The idea was to grab it, so as if like a bull. So you know how bulls go towards red, that's where the name originated from. So that's Blue. Stop it, Dakota. Please stop. But that's where it originates from. It originates from Spartan times. Yeah. So a bit more backstory than I thought it was going to be, but you know. But I'd like to know where they actually got the name from, but that's really the only explanation we have to that. but yeah, no, the nostalgic things you were talking about is very true. I'm just trying to think.
About a second ago.
Yeah, go on.
Do you remember like a punishment as a kid? Bevan made me think about this. Remember punishment as a kid would be like you're grounded.
Yeah.
I was talking to somebody about this literally like last week, and they said if my mum grounded me as a kid, or no, if my mum grounded me now or whatever, they're like, don't threaten me with a good. That's 15 days.
Yeah.
You're never leaving. So, like, I'm pretty sure that, I mean, I live alone, I'm independent. If someone grounded me now, I'd be.
Yeah, that to be fair, being grounded. Well, you think about it now, being grounded was actually a kind of good thing in a sense. And it just depends on what form of being grounded you had. I had a naughty step personally until I was like 6, I think. So it was just like if you did something bad, you go to the naughty step, and I'd sit there and I'd just be like, why am I here? I can just get up and move if I want to, but I know I'd get a smack if I weren't like to not stay seated down. So I'd be like, okay, fine, I'll just stay there.
Growing up, we always had to smack.
Yeah.
That's not allowed these days.
Yeah, no, that's now considered abuse. But at the same time,
not my children, as long as they don't leave a mark.
Exactly. Yeah, not to hurt them, just to like pat them and be like, listen, you this is the person who's in charge. You've got to listen, kind of thing. But okay, that's good. I'm just trying to think. Anything nostalgic from when I was a childhood. I know this is gonna sound stupid because not a lot of people do it anymore. But when you'd go and like feed the ducks and stuff like that, like if there was like a local park or something or a pond or something, bread. You take bread. That's ridiculous. That's
no, it's actually scientific. So it makes the ducks can drown.
What? That's ridiculous.
If you feed them bread, because bread absorbs water.
Yeah, that's true.
It makes them heavier.
Yeah.
And then they can drown.
But I just remember stuff like that from when I was a kid. Just going to there was like a pond in my nan's house, and
we used to go to Bedlington Park.
Every so often, when I get the chance, I'd go there with my mum and sometimes Bevan. To be fair, when I was younger, I think maybe there was 2 or 3 times we went to the duck pond and fed the ducks and stuff like that. And there was like a park nearby, so we go and do that, and then we go to the park and we just have fun, like kids would. When
Bedlington Park.
Yeah, I do. That's very near to my house.
So me and my mum used to go with nets and try and collect stickleback, the little fish with little spikes.
Oh, really?
We used to go over our net. Yeah, they had the the little rivery bit.
Yeah.
There's fish that live in there, so we used to go and collect them in the jar, then let them out at the end.
Okay.
We've got to be really quiet, just get the nets and collect stickleback. Oh, that's
That's a really fun memory, to be fair. That's really good.
Yeah, we always used to go. We used to get the net, go get stickleback.
Ah. Well, I mean, I'm glad you have that memory. Blue, please stop atting me because I'm getting the notification in my corner and I have to keep swiping it away. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, other things from when I was a kid, just stuff like that. There's another discontinued snack that I used to have at my nan and granddad's because they'd always buy it. There were Walker's Ready Salted Crisps, right? But they were called Light, and they had like a blue front instead of red. It was red and then like a blue circle with light in it, and they're now discontinued and they don't do them anymore. But stuff like that,
that's just basically Walker's Crisps.
Like
they tasted better.
Yeah, they did. They did.
Was better.
I'm just
the crisps, the ready salted ones where you'd have to put the salt in yourself.
Yeah, they salt and shake. Yeah, they still have them.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I thought no, yeah. Recently.
Wait.
A year ago, I went to my nan's and she.
Hold on a minute. I think I found it. Hold on a minute. Is this it? This is it. Oh, they still do them. Oh, okay. They still do them. They look like this. They look exactly like that. And that, when I was a kid, I don't know why, I always imagine it every time I'd go to my nan and granddad's and just stuff like that. But when we were talking about growing up differently, I've grown up in a family where I've got quite a big family. So the majority of my childhood consisted of always being with a large family and going quite frequently to my nan and granddad's, having big meals at the weekends and stuff like that. But that's what I'm saying about how my childhood differentiates from like your guys' childhood, because I know some of you might not have had the same thing. I mean, can you remember things?
I had a big family, but they all seem to dwindle down. But I grew up without a dad, which is a different to a lot of. I mean, I know as we grow up, it's common that mums and dads aren't together. But when I was younger, there was like quite a few people who didn't have a mum and dad.
Yeah, that's fair.
Which is different. I remember like in primary school, me and my best friend were only best friends because we got life without a dad.
Okay.
And everybody else had a family, which is quite. It's weird thinking about it now because that's normal.
Yeah, now it's just uncommon to have an actual parents still together. I personally, my parents are both still together. I know here the majority of you actually aren't, which I feel sorry for you in a sense. It just depends on if you prefer it like that or not, you know. Yanniek, can I ask, are your parents still together? Do you still, your mum and dad still together?
They got divorced in September.
Oh really? I'm sorry to hear that. I'm really sorry to hear that. So yeah, but that's what I mean. All of you have parents that aren't together.
I guess in Yanniek's situation, it's harder because when I came to realise that I grew up, I never had a dad in my life. I've never even met my dad today. So that's easier, not knowing you could have had. In Yanniek's situation, it's harder because her mum were together.
Yeah.
And now they're.
And she's known that for her entire life, so.
Yeah. So yeah, it is different in that way where it's harder in that situation compared to one where I've never known it. I've never known anything different.
Again, sorry to hear that, Yanniek.
I don't mind.
But I think, is there anything anyone wants to add? Because I think we've just about run out of time. This has been going on for about an hour and a half now, I think.
For someone who didn't want to be here, I've spoken an awful.
Have you enjoyed your time here? Did you enjoy what we did today? It's quite different, I'd say. I've cut off. We were gonna have 2 more topics, but we weren't expecting it to run over as much as it was. So we'll save those for the next podcast. It is currently 7:07, so we're a bit early, but at the same time we have been recording for a while. So.
Well, my AirPods are about to die, so it's a good cut-off point.
Okay, well, we'll start with you then. Yeah, go on, Bevan. Go on.
Just got one thing to add. Sam, do you remember? It was that rugby fun day. You come down with just Russell.
I think so.
Everyone was on the pitch up top on the top pitch, and I don't know if you remember, but it was the day that we all panicked. Like me, you, Russell, Manan, we all panicked because that was also the day that Steve snapped his ankle.
Oh really? I think so.
Turned around.
Vaguely.
Facing backwards.
Oh, I vaguely remember that, yeah.
I remember because that was when me and you jumped in the sumo suits.
Oh yeah. I remember you now. And we were just there, just like, and everyone was pissing themselves. Yeah, I remember that.
My nan ran up a tab for us.
Yeah.
We ended up eating like something like 7 burgers each.
Yeah.
3 hot dogs or something like that.
We ate like kings.
Me and Sam, we were that close. We used to go out and bully all the other kids.
Yes. Yeah, a bit different, but that's fine.
Literally we jumped on the bouncy castle, and there used to be some kids in there, and we jumped.
Yeah. We bodied them. Oh my god.
That used to be me and Alfie.
Really? Yeah. Nah, Bevan was always like my brother growing up, and I still to this day I still call him my cousin pretty much, but he's more like a brother, always has been.
You call everyone your cousin.
I mean, listen, I prefer to have a large family. Yeah, I call everyone a cousin. Blue's like a cousin, except he's a bit deranged, but it's fine. Yeah, exactly. I was just calling you deranged, Blue. Oh, okay. Well, let me start with you, Lauren, then. Well, I'll start with.
One of them had.
Okay.
I'm still alright in this era, I think.
That's alright. Well, what I was going to say was, what have you enjoyed about today's podcast, and what's one thing you can take away from it? That's what I'm going to ask. I'm going to make it a frequent question.
I'm both up in once. I think it's the charity thing.
Mm.
It's just, it means a lot, and it's a real thing. It's not something to discuss or something to debate about. It's a real life thing. It's happening, and it can change people's lives. And I think that's a big either takeaway and a big discussion point. It means a lot.
Yeah,
and
that's
I think
true.
that is the best thing to come out of this podcast today.
Yeah.
Also, remember the link to the GoFundMe is in.
Yep, the links to the GoFundMe and also the hotline for if you're feeling depressed or any sort of way. Or even if you don't want to go to that, please speak to someone you trust, whether it be a friend, whether it be a family member, whoever. Please just speak to someone. They'd much rather hear you vent than having to go to a funeral. So please, please, please do what you must, and it will help you out a ton. But yeah, is that what you've taken away from that, Lauren? Just that. Okay, Bevan, I'll go on to you next.
Just that. What do you mean, just that?
No. I just mean just that. It's like, is that it? You know? I'm not like. No. You know what I mean. Bevan, what's one thing you've enjoyed about the podcast, and what's one thing you can take away from it?
One thing I've enjoyed about the podcast is obviously reliving a few memories that we've had.
Yeah.
And obviously being able to promote the charity and get it out there. One thing I'm going to take away from it is that I stand by what I've said about society, and if anyone has got a problem with that,
fuck yourself. I'm only kidding.
Stuck on my big fat toe.
Don't worry, I will be linking everyone's socials in the description, so if any of you want to message anyone, then please go ahead.
You're not.
Okay, well, I'll still put your name. Whatever.
You can put my second Instagram in there.
Okay, that's fine. I'll go on to Yanniek next. Yanniek, what's one thing you have taken from this part? I mean, I know you haven't necessarily been here for long because you got cut through. I'll go by. Is there anything you have taken away from the brief discussion we've had? It can be something little, it can be something big, whatever.
I just really like now I kind of know the difference between childhood in like England, how that could be, and here.
Yeah.
How it's here.
That's fair. Yeah. It is quite different. I like to know that stuff, like the things you were telling us about bashing people's knees in. You know, it's a very different type of upbringing. But no, I get what you mean.
Trying, like, oh, let's try it. Wop, wop.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. But okay, that's interesting. And finally, Blue, the waffler for all of England. Do you want to tell us one thing you've enjoyed and one thing you can take away? Not take away, but go on.
I've enjoyed the nostalgia talk.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I can take away from this discussion is that console players cannot win Fortnite tournaments.
Dakota, he might even watch this, and then he's gonna say something to you about this. So
they just can't win tournaments.
Oh, I don't.
What's Blue taken away? Absolutely fucking nothing.
No, because he's insulting his friends. Is that all, Blue? Is that all you've enjoyed? The nostalgia. I mean, everyone's enjoyed the nostalgia talk because you can't go wrong with a bit of nostalgia. Is that everything, Blue? Okay.
Not really.
It's the only thing he's been here for.
Blue and Yanniek have been here since the break, and that's a good 40 minutes now, I think.
But it was only the charity and the nostalgia talk.
What, Blue?
Yeah, shut. He said yeah to everything.
Okay, well, if that's everything, guys, I'm going to end this podcast here. If you enjoyed, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Follow. Wait, hold on a minute. Hold on. Pause. Hold on a minute. Give me 1 second before we actually end this, because I've just gotten a notification. I might have missed something. Hold on. What have I missed? What did you? Oh, hold on. Oh yeah, sure. Yanniek, basically, if you go to the chat where it says music commands, do ! play and then the name of your song. Because Yanniek wants to play a song for the outro, I think. So please go ahead. There you go. Is that it? I think that's it. There you go. That's how it works. Blue. Okay, you need to do it again. Blue, you've just. Blue, please.
Like, it's just an intro, but like,
Okay.
it makes everyone happy here.
Okay. This is nice. Well, this is the perfect song to do an outro to. If you guys enjoyed the stream, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Remember, go and follow those helpful links down below. There'll be a number there and a link to the GoFundMe, and also a link to everyone's socials. If you enjoyed the podcast, just tell people about it. People might enjoy. And the next time we will be back with another episode won't be until February. We're going to try and make this a monthly podcast. But thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you all soon. Bye, guys.